In this video, I'll show you how to do an oil change on a 2.4 liter Jeep engine. Once you've raised and supported your vehicle and it's leveled, you can start your oil change. And you're going to take the oil filter off. I like to do it first. Use an oil filter wrench. This is what they call a medium size. Make sure you have a catch basin and catch the old oil. Located in the back of the pan, right in front of the transmission, is the oil pan drain plug. This particular Jeep is a 16mm socket or wrench. I'm going to break that free. Now we do have a catch basin right here. Make sure it's lined up. I like to just make sure it's on its last thread, and I put my hand on the top area and get right out of the way. Now with the oil drained, I checked my drain plug gasket. It's in good enough shape. If it was torn or broken, you need to replace it. If not, it will drip completely. You'll lose all your oil. So let's start it by hand. I'm just going to bottom it out. A 16mm socket. We'll torque it to 20 foot-pounds. So you're going to want to clean the oil filter housing where the oil filter goes before you install your new one. You want to make sure the old gasket isn't stuck on that housing. It's pretty common that that happens. And plus, while you're wiping it, you can check for any imperfections, like maybe some chipped metal or cracked metal. It all seems good. So now I'm going to prep my oil filter. So I'm going to take the oil that the manufacturer recommends, take my new filter, and I'm going to fill it right up into the center of that, just right to the threads, and let it settle for a little bit, and you'll see it start to fill that paper gasket up inside. It just stops it from a dry start. The engine's not really dry because it's got miles on it. There's oil still in the bearings. Just doesn't hurt. So now with that new oil, just like that, I'm going to take a dab of that and put it right on that gasket. I personally like to use the new oil, not the old oil. Now we already cleaned our housing, so we're ready to install. Take your oil filter, line it up, spin it on. Once it bottoms out, a good quarter turn by hand without the tool, sometimes a half a turn. You don't want to use the tool because it could pinch the tin and cause a leak or over tighten. So now we can fill our oil. The oil fill cap is right here, right in the center of the vehicle on top of the valve cover. I'm going to unscrew this. This particular model doesn't tell you on the cap what type of oil or how many quarts. The manual does say 4 quarts of 530 or 1030, all depends on the climate you live in. We're going to add 530, 4 quarts. Now all the oil has been added. We'll replace that cover. Now that the oil's full, we're going to start it up and run it. But first I'm going to pull the dipstick so you can find the location, which is right here in front of the driver's side of the driver's seat, behind the intake. It's got that yellow handle. So let's start it up, make sure the red light for the oil goes out. Then we'll shut it off, let it sit for a few minutes, about 2 minutes, and we'll check our level. All right, about 2 minutes has gone by. So now we're going to pull our dipstick out, clean it with a rag, make sure all the oil level is off. Take a look at the reading. You'll see right there all those X's. You have minimal, in full. Let's see where it's at. Oh, it's perfect. Look at that. Right there at the full mark. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.